In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the front wheel bearing assembly on your Chevy Silverado. This will be located behind the front wheel. Let's get started. Using a 22mm socket, remove the 6 lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Using a 35mm socket, remove the axle nut. Remove the washer. Using a soft face mallet, we're going to tap the axle to make sure it moves freely in the hub. Just like that. Using an 18mm socket, remove the caliper bracket bolts. Pull the caliper assembly off. We're going to use a hook to hang it from the spring assembly, or you could go off of the control arm. Just make sure there's no tension on the brake hose. Remove the rotor. Pull the plastic stay out for the ABS connector. We're going to pull that forward. There's going to be a red locking tab. Push that red locking tab back. We're going to push on the black button right in front of it and remove the connector. We're going to push on the tab in the back and pull the plastic stay out. Using a 15mm, remove the 3 bolts for the wheel bearing. There's one more in the same position on the back side. We're going to use a hammer and hit the back of the hub, pushing the wheel bearing out. Using your thumbs, push on the axle while pulling the wheel bearing out. Remove the backing plate. And remove the wheel bearing. Using a wire brush, clean inside of the knuckle where our new hub is going to sit. Once you hit everything with a wire brush, go ahead and give it a good wipe down. I'm going to use a bit of silicone paste and put it inside of the knuckle where our bearing is going to sit. This will help that rust not come back. Also going to put just a tiny amount on our axle threads. Install the wheel bearing into the backing plate, being sure that your ABS harness lines up with the slot. Install the bearing into the vehicle. Get the wheel bearing bolts started. Snug the wheel bearing bolts down. Torque the wheel bearing bolts to 133 foot-pounds. Install the rotor. Grab your caliper. Install it over the rotor. Get the caliper bracket bolts started. Torque the bracket bolts to 170 foot-pounds. Install the ABS harness plastic stays into the brackets. Install the connector for the ABS harness. Push until you hear a click. If you don't hear a click, give it a pull. Make sure it's locked on. Close that red locking tab. Install the plastic stay for the connector. Install the axle nut. Snug it down. I'm going to use a punch in the fins of the rotor to hold the assembly while we torque the axle nut. Torque the axle nut to 177 foot-pounds. Remove the punch. Install the wheel. Get the lug nuts started. Snug the lug nuts down. Torque the lug nuts in a star pattern to 140 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.